Good evening, folks, and welcome to episode 40 of the Sultans of Shadilay podcast. I am joined, as always, by Trim and,
Hello.
of course, Discordia.
Hello.
In chat, I can see we have George and Student of History. Good morning, folks. Welcome.
Hello.
Oh,
Where is Newfoundland? My geographic ability is terrible.
I think it's part of the glorious Socialist Republic of Canada.
Oh. Ew.
I think it's a province in there. And this is
Canada's
where my
still misbehaving.
Trudeau is
Hello,
still a
boys
tyrant.
and lady.
And this is where I get schooled, and it's not part of Canada.
Somebody be in the chat like, actually.
I don't know if they might want to leave Canada. Let's see. I see we have
Hey,
Dave
guys.
and
Hey,
Prime
Prime
Knight. G'day, guys.
Hello, everyone. Georgie and Student of History. Just saying the names here. Nobody feel left out.
Student of History
feel left
and
out.
George have responded, telling us when you found that is. It is the east part of the People's Republic of Canada.
I prefer the word Kanukistan.
Kanakistan, yes. Alrighty. Just waiting to see who we're going to have. And then we will...
Dictator Blackface.
Yes, Dictator Blackface.
Blackface Hitler.
Hey, at least Hitler didn't blackface, okay?
George says, and we are technically part of Canada, though I personally don't feel that way, and grew up with the generation that disagreed. Joined Canada in 1949, ironically about 6 months before China went commie. Well, that was a fucking mistake, wasn't it?
Poor bastards.
Prime Knight asks, so how is it living in Cold War II nuclear boogaloo? And we have Pominator, g'day Pominator, saying Trudeau delenda est.
I like this. I like this.
Can I get arrested from Canada? No. Yes, in that case I agree.
I agree wholeheartedly with this decision.
Yes. Trudeau is indeed a tyrant.
That's
And a
one to
big
like.
fat cunt.
Six Semper Tyrannis.
Yes. Trudonus.
Six Semper Tyrannis based. And George says they plan to do a historical examination of the conspiracy theory around confederation with Canada. Now that sounds interesting. I imagine that the vote was fortified.
No. Whatever makes you think that the leftists would keep fortifying
Nobody
votes?
would, well, I mean, other than them bragging about it.
I mean, other than the undead.
You leave the
They seem
Lich
to
King
be
out of
undead.
this.
Student of History says, so one thing, interesting part of the Canada incident that didn't happen, I've learned about the fact that Canada remains a solvent state by use of duct tape and prayer.
Yeah.
Well, yes, prayer to the holy blackface.
I mean, he's already been pretty open with how much of a fan he is of dictator China.
I don't know. Trudeau seems to be of the opinion that China's a bunch of pussies, and he'll show them how a real dictatorship's done.
Yeah. Did you see the old article from, I think it was HuffPost?
Oh, from like 6 years ago about how Trudeau's
had
going
his fucking numbers. Like, it's like, you know what? For once, HuffPost is actually right.
to...
What the hell?
Yeah.
Words cannot describe my dislike for that little twink boy. Seriously, Trudeau is that kind of guy you look at and think, yeah, I could beat this guy up with both arms tied behind my back.
Well,
You done
why?
it, Trim?
Because, like all good dictators and tyrants, he surrounded himself by with a bunch of simple-minded thugs to do his bidding for him.
Yes.
And he has then armed them while disarming the populace.
Pretty much.
Hmm.
And yes, I know
Probably
Canada
against
has
the-
guns, but I am pretty sure they don't have M16s with functional fun switches.
Canada has guns.
Yeah, but my understanding is it's mostly shotguns and hunting rifles, which, to be fair, isn't a bad start. But
It ain't no America.
well, if nothing else, Ukraine has proven that yes, there is a reason that civilians need select fire assault rifles.
Yes.
I love how
To
the
avoid
left
the
is
Ruskies.
just like, yes, they're arming the population. It's like, left. Stop it.
Can you like not backpedal for a second?
But that's the thing, it's not even backpedaling because they hold both opinions at the same time. They're like, it's a great thing that they're being armed over there because now they can defend themselves. Take all the guns.
Yep. What,
The
white
guns were
Americans don't
given
need
by the
guns, but white
government, though.
Ukrainians do.
It was the Ukrainian government that.
Oh, I
actually
see.
armed
As
them
long
to
as you're
defend.
doing what the government tells you, it's okay.
Yes,
But I
you
thought they
gotta
hated the
lick
police.
Said, the government
gotta
said they
lick the
could have
boots.
guns, so it's okay.
Hmm. George says that they have a lot of hunters up in Kazakhstan, and if nothing else, Ukraine has proved the 2A is necessary.
Hmm.
Yes, and we'll get rid of the NFA, National Firearms Agreement, that they have in the States. Let people have assault rifles with the fun switches.
With the fun switches.
Full auto.
Yes, full
Or
auto.
semi-auto.
Well, that's what an assault rifle is. It's a select fire, so it can do semi-auto and full auto. But just assault rifle's a misnomer of its own.
Remember, not give it to the judge who points the guns at the jury.
That fucking idiot prosecutor. What a tool.
Okay.
Yeah. Wait, I called
He
him a
was a
judge.
tool.
Fuck.
Yeah, don't promote him.
He doesn't
Well,
listen.
after he's proven how much of a bootlicker he is for the left, I imagine the next time there's a round of promotions, he'll be in.
He does look like the prime cuck of all of Cuckistan, right, at least.
Yes, he looks like a typical Californian leftist, doesn't he, the prosecutor?
Yep.
It's because he probably was.
I just love the way that everybody made like this man is having relations with my wife. A lot of good memes there.
Yes. Meanwhile, on a different case, I don't have the article up, but in relation to the George Floyd incident, apparently they've convicted at least 3 officers of violating his human rights. Fuck's sake.
Violate the rights of somebody who's dead.
Well, apparently detaining him before he died was the problem.
Oh. Well, when it comes to George Floyd, you can never do right. Unless you're a Marxist black person who's out to just use them for money.
Hmm.
Yeah, George makes a good point. Concealed carry stops crime. Yes, it does. Turns out there's a lot less gun crime and mass shootings in Texas.
I wonder fucking why. Could it be that if someone came and took a shot at someone, he'd become Swiss cheese within a second?
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet as well that there's less rapes in Texas too. Because it turns out, do you know what's really good at stopping a rapist? 6 rounds of 38 to the chest.
Well, I would imagine that would put them off a bit.
Yeah,
Not the greatest turn on, I guess.
No. Fills them full of lead. Just but the wrong kind.
Would be bad though if you met the one rapist to get turned on by having a gun pointed at him.
Yeah. Let's see. Theodore Pinnock has arrived. Hello, mate. And George says that church guy showed the way. Yes, the guy who was doing volunteer security at that church in Texas. Guy comes in with a shotgun, shoots one person, which is still a tragedy. Tries to shoot some more people. Shot in the head by the security guy. And it was an impressive draw with great accuracy.
It should.
But I've mentioned it before, but it touches on one of my many theories about how ridiculous the left is. They keep complaining. Men are rapists, women are getting raped all the time. 1 in 4 women will become the victim of sexual assault. Okay, have you considered what would happen if we gave women guns? I'm pretty
sure. The South Park episode where everyone has their issues solved when they just stand there and point guns at each other.
I mean, an armed society is a polite society.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of the problems with them. A lot of modern culture. You don't get punched in the face if you say something stupid.
Yeah, that's true. We're forced to listen to the stupid people.
Yes, it's been great fun because we've been having floods here in Queensland where I am. The stupidest person in the state's been on TV several times a day, also known as the Premier. For those of you who don't have premiers, that's roughly the equivalent of a governor. George says consensual combat laws are great, but legalized dueling would be better.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. The one problem with consensual combat laws is that dumbass fucking DAs will let gangbangers off for shooting at each other. Now, the shooting at each other I don't have a problem with. The problem I have is that they do it in the middle of a suburban street and they can't aim for shit.
Kill everybody else.
Yes, it's not the bullets that hit the gang member. I wouldn't have a problem with that, straight up. Would not have a problem.
Like, you can fight, just do it in there. In fact, we'll sell tickets.
And hell, as far as I'm concerned, they can even have knife fights on the streets. Not a problem. It's when the bullets fuck off, fly through a window and kill a 4-year-old that I have a problem.
That's never nice.
Because the thing about gangbangers is they're idiots, which means that they don't know how to aim very well.
I mean, you see the way they hold their guns? Limp-wristed and sideways.
Well, it's no surprise that they have so many failures to cycle as well. And whatnot. Student history says drive-by plus gangster lean doesn't lend itself to proper aiming. That's it, but only good people are particularly concerned about things like missing. Then again, speaking of gangbanging thugs shooting people, that brings us to our story for today.
Yay! Segue!
That was quite the introduction. That was quite the introduction to this story.
Completely intentional, by the
way. Yes.
I applaud you, Bezic. That was impressive.
That's got to be some of my greatest work.
It's like, I swear it wasn't a tangent, guys.
It totally wasn't good. Pominator says accuracy is a white supremacist construct.
Yeah, how dare you?
Okay, so this follows on a bit from one of the articles we touched on last episode, when we talked about Black Lives Matter activist Sasha Johnson, the one who got shot at a party last year. A party that she maybe shouldn't have been at. So we are...
It seems to say she shouldn't have been there, but I don't know, like, if she wanted to go to a party then, and she had actually... Did we find out if she ever, like, had a babysitter for the kids, or if she just left them?
I don't think we did, but we'll assume that she did. But As much as she's a scum-sucking piece of crap human, we'll assume she did. So we'll move on from that. So last week we saw the article about how the police let off the gangbangers, despite the fact that, oh, we've only got circumstantial evidence,
Yeah.
which, while good
Okay.
enough to convict white people, apparently videos of them being in the area, text of them talking about doing a hit, the fact that they had the guns, apparently that all wasn't good enough.
Yeah, had they been white, they'd have been guilty before they ever went to fucking trial. Like you'd be like, that white person was shot. This poor black woman, and like the media would have been calling for their heads.
Indeed.
But the
Dave
media
says
would never do
he's in
that.
the UK and has absolutely no sympathy for her. The press here dropped this story pretty quick when they found out the ethnicity of the suspects. Yeah, funny how the story and the case got dropped when the ethnicity of the suspects came out.
I
See,
wonder
I do have
why
some
ethnicity
sympathy for
matters.
it. Not she was a horrible person, but I wouldn't leave anybody in the condition she's been
Yes,
in.
which is the story that we're looking at today. So, Daily Mail's actually gone and put in all caps warning distressing images. So, Sasha Johnson was shot in the head last summer, suffering permanent injuries. Incident happened when four masked men stormed a party in Peckham. Of course, the criminal case against the four men accused of the shooting, they say collapsed, but swept under the rug is more accurate.
Mm.
So, the mother and sister of Sasha Johnson, who was shot in the head last summer, have released a harrowing image of the equal rights activist in a hospital bed. So, we've actually got that image here. So, catastrophic permanent injuries. Half her skulls had to be removed.
Oh,
Not just half her skull, by the looks of things, half her fucking brain as well.
Yeah, there's not even any brain there to hold it up.
And this
Like
is
the-
what I mean. Like you wouldn't leave a fucking animal in that condition.
Absolutely.
Like if you tried to leave your dog in that condition, you'd have animal rights campaigners
fair.
like trying to get you fucking jailed for cruelty. Like as much as I don't like the woman, like I wouldn't have left her like that.
Yes, I would have no sympathy if she'd been shot and killed. I do have sympathy for her being stuck in this condition. I wouldn't leave an animal in this condition.
Holy shit, that is. Yeah, we better just pull the plug in that case.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
think if
horrible.
you get to
There's
the point
nothing
where you're
there.
trying to save someone and you're like half of their brain is destroyed, just make them comfortable. Like just give them painkillers and let them go. Don't leave them like this.
Why am I like picturing Britney Spears from South Park right now? That's kind of fucked.
It is.
Oh,
Like,
man,
when we saw the article last time, when I read it, I was under the impression that she'd not yet regained consciousness at all. And from this picture, it kind of looks that way.
Yeah, I don't think
Right, she's
I
regained
don't think she
consciousness?
will. But the thing is, when somebody's like this, there'd be no way that she probably could communicate. So she could be in pain. And she wouldn't be able to tell them if she
Indeed.
was.
Like, I'm barely convinced that she's alive. She's like, she may not meet the clinical definition of brain dead, but if she regains consciousness, it's going to be catastrophically debilitating.
Yeah.
Like, she is going to need 24-hour care for the rest of her life. And I'm talking professional level care here, not just someone to make sure that they don't fall over and hurt themselves. Like, she's going to need to be turned over every 15, 20 minutes or whatever it is. She's going to need to be hoisted to the shower. She's going to need to be toileted. She's going to be fed fluids for the rest of her life.
Her kid is going to be the one to take care of her.
Well, hopefully they use some of the money that Black Lives Matter have extorted from people to pay for this woman's care.
Yeah, okay, she is fucked.
Pomno has a point. Good point. Mate, she met the classification of brain dead before she got blapped. Oof.
Ouch.
Yeah. Prom Knight says living a barely human life, normal will never return. yeah, like it, just
Well, but guys, what is a human life? Like just eat the bugs and live in the pod. Enjoy the metaverse.
Someone pull the fucking plug now, please.
Indeed. But yeah, if she recovers and leaves the hospital, which I doubt, she won't be living.
No.
She'll be surviving at best.
Yeah, and survival isn't enough.
And yes, she was a horrendous human being. Absolute scum.
Oh yeah, I have no respect for it, but I wouldn't leave anyone.
Yeah,
like
this
that.
is just wrong. Like, even the absolute filth that she is, she shouldn't be left in a condition like this.
What is the point of living if we're living like cattle?
I mean, it's a good fucking question.
That is not even cattle, dude. There's more brain
she's
power
not
in a
living like-
cow.
She's not living like cattle.
Yeah, living like cattle would be an improvement. At least cows get to
Right,
go
I was
outside in
making
most
a-
places.
Making a reference to them.
Yeah,
I know.
we know.
Sweet. Okay.
So let's see if it tells us more about the injuries. Oh no, she's a mother with kids. Well, maybe she should have thought about that before she got involved in politics.
Well,
And
to
again,
be fair, apparently she wasn't shot because of the politics.
no,
She was,
apparently
like,
it was just wrong place, wrong time,
Right.
drug-related stuff. She wasn't the target, apparently.
I'm sorry, I just can't feel sympathy for her.
Yeah, it's hard to feel
Just-
much sympathy
you have
at
to learn to
all.
love your enemy, Trent.
Hmm.
Over my dead body.
Become based in Christ pilled.
Yeah, that's the part where I can't join that kind of mentality because I can't forgive. Not yet, at least. I need to grow up more in that case.
I mean, she's a deranged activist, not someone who like fucked children. Okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
We can have.
Yeah, but
some
I just don't. I don't feel anything towards her.
I do
don't
wonder how
hate
she.
her. I don't love her.
Well,
I don't feel anything.
that's it. I don't feel anything towards her specifically. I just look at this and go, any living thing in this state should be put out of its misery.
Mm.
Like,
I do
this
wonder
is
how
just
she got to that point, though.
unreasonably cruel. Oh, yes.
Like, was it her university was like, pretty black girl will make a great face for this movement, or was this something that she radicalized herself to?
Nobody knows.
Indeed.
Because somebody's teaching kids this stuff.
Oh, God. And, of course, the pathetic losers are all coming out in the comments. Oh, and everyone's downvoted. Oof.
So, how many people think it's a far right hit?
I bet like fucking a year after it's like fucking come out, people are like, what deranged white supremacist did this? Like
The same who made Eric Chauvin do the thingy. He force fed George Floyd. Did you know that?
Yeah,
Huh?
force-fed the fentanyl to him.
force fence him.
The fentanyl only made him stronger, though.
He ate it
But
for
yeah,
breakfast.
He was immune to it. He was immune.
It
to
made
it.
him it made him immortal.
Yes.
Only the knee could. It was his one weakness.
Just like with Achilles and his heel, Lord Floyd's neck was his one true weakness. The fentanyl failed to slay him, but the knee of his nemesis was his bane.
Apparently.
Okay, so we have the totally reliable Wikipedia article about this lady. She graduated with a degree in community development and youth work from Ruskin College.
Oh God, why are all these degrees fucking useless?
Yeah.
Don't be racist.
She called herself Oxford's Black Panther.
Okay.
Is Ruskin College... Okay, it's at Oxford. So, it seems that she was already going that way before university, but by university, definitely well and truly involved.
Fantastic.
Born in 1993 or 1994.
I guess they only have her age, not her date of birth.
Yeah, they do. That's right. But that makes her younger than all of us, possibly?
I mean, I'm turning 31 this summer, so.
Hmm. And how many times have you been in a house with drug dealers, Jim?
Yes. Well, actually,
Knowingly, can't really say. I mean, it was once, and I didn't know it. I got, I heard it afterwards, but it wasn't exactly any hardcore bangers. It was just, sitting in the sofa, sneak in between them, and then just fucking off. While the rest of us was just getting drunk on moonshine and beer.
I'm just going to see if I can find the older article about her. Because I'm certain that it described her condition.
Bullet wound to the head? Oh, her old condition. Fine.
Hmm. Okay,
I
here
did
we go.
see an article where, like, I think the family are like, she's going to tell her story one day, and it's like, I don't think
What
she
the
I
fuck?
really doubt that.
I mean, I get your family and you need to keep hope, but I probably not, guys.
Right,
Oh,
okay,
she
here we
will
go.
tell her story. It's just that her family is gonna be the one. The activists in her family are gonna be the one who delivers it.
No, no, they mean like she'll tell who did this to her.
Yeah. They think that's what they say, but we know that there's interpretator there who's gonna help them out with it. Totally
Hmm.
legit, by the way. Totally legit.
Here we go. So she was shot on May 23rd, 2021. It's now March 2022, and it says, having initially been described as critical, her condition is now said to be serious but stable as she continues to receive treatment in hospital. Right, so a year later, she's still in hospital, in a serious but stable condition. And she hasn't spoken out yet. Yeah, methinks she's a
nothing there.
vegetable.
There's nothing there.
Like
And
you'd
if
hope there's
I'm
nothing
proven-
there.
If I'm proven wrong, then holy shit.
Like, for her sake, I hope there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Like, I would not wish that on even her. I might wish it on Trudeau, but not just some activists.
Pedos deserve that kind of shit, but not medical help. They just
Even
left
that,
there.
like, just finish it. It's wrong to, like, the family needs to let it go.
I mean,
The
at
thing
least
is,
the wood chipper just
now
kills them.
she's stable. I don't know if the family will be allowed to let her
Yeah, I
go.
don't know.
I suppose it depends. If they stopped
Unless we go to
intervention, I
Netherlands.
guess if she can't eat and whatnot, maybe.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Once you've intervened like this, then getting permission to stop the intervention is
Exactly. So it's entirely either way. She's going to spend the entire rest of her life in 24-hour care. The only difference is whether that's going to be in hospital for a couple of months or years,
what,
or
kitty cat?
in professional care for the rest of what little life that is.
What, kitty cat? You're sitting on my mouse. I can't play the game. What do you? Wait, your face. No. You sit down. Oh my god. I'm trying to play
demands your
Elden Ring,
attention.
and you're in the way, cat.
It demands your attention. The royal kitty cat.
Does demand my attention.
Maybe the cat is racist. We're talking about black people. Maybe the cat doesn't like black people.
I don't think he cares as long as he gets fed.
Yeah, as long as it's by a white person.
Wait.
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
Every cat owner white.
Speaking about similarities between this and another shooting, they say that one of the issues with the investigation is that many witnesses have refused to come forward. Our biggest challenge is the wall of silence we have faced when appealing for witnesses to come forward. That's the exact same problem that the investigators are having with the furry versus Antifa shooting. It's funny how when the shooting starts, the cockroaches scurry away and refuse to talk to the police.
And take away the evidence so nobody knows how many kids they've diddled.
Yep.
Well, you know what? You know what I always say: when the shooting starts, the looting starts.
Thanks, Biden.
What?
What's that?
I think it was Trump, wasn't it?
Apologize to
Okay, I know I'm going sideways here again.
Well,
but,
you got it. You said when the shooting starts, the looting starts. Shouldn't it be the other way?
Oh shit! Yeah, my bad. I had a Biden moment. I'm sorry.
Now we understand the Biden comment.
Yes.
Okay.
We
I had a
expected
gap.
better.
I had a gap.
I thought Bezic was small brain, but he was actually bigger brain than any of us.
We
Yes.
cannot comprehend Besic's brain.
Oh dear. Let's see. Prime Knight says keeping her alive more for the family than herself, who isn't in there anymore. And then he also says, yeah, me too. Like if she's in there, that's suffering. Yeah, let's see. Prime Knight also said, hopefully the furry isn't found stabbed with a hormone needle. And Stunner
Okay, that's one way of saying it.
Stunner History says Trump voiced Biden logic.
Yep.
And George asks, what's the gameplay like on Elden Ring?
Good.
It's a really
I'm
good
enjoying it.
game. I got attacked by a gigantic black bird fetus armed with
okay.
an axe.
I thought that sentence was going somewhere different for a second.
Maybe was part of my plan. But yeah, it was armed with an axe and it just dropped from the sky and tried to slap me around.
Kinky.
Very kinky. It awakened something in me, and then I lightninged it to death.
You've gone with magic, have you?
Yeah, I called down the wrath of God upon its soul, or its lack of soul. It's dead
I
now.
have burning arrows.
Ooh.
True,
Not
but
only
at
do
some
I have
point you gotta
arrows, I
take
have
the
burning
Christ
arrows.
pill.
What?
At some point you gotta take the Christ pill.
Yeah, I mean, I do like it in fantasy games because when you take the
It
Christ
tastes
pill,
like
you tend
bread
to
and wine.
when you take the Christ pill there, you tend to get superpowers. I mean, I would convert to Christianity immediately if I could call lightning in my hand and strike my enemies with it. So whenever you can make that happen, I'ma join immediately. I mean, how would that go in the Second Amendment? You know, you don't have a gun, but you can call down lightning from God.
We'll just confiscate your god, okay?
No, no more praying for you guys. No more praying.
I'm gonna have to confiscate your gods.
We're gonna make worship illegal now.
You got a license for that Bible, boy?
Sounds like something Trudeau would say.
Yep.
Well,
'Cause-
the
Unless
thing
it's
is,
Allah.
Canada is no place for hatred.
It's no place for love and compassion either. We just saw that
The
over the last
people
2
are
years.
there, but not the government.
Yeah. Fucking Trudeau. Slimy scum-sucking bastard.
Oh yeah. Oh, he's too busy eating the ink of the blackface thingies.
Yes.
Ink. I thought it was shoe polish.
Oh, he likes the heavy stuff. I hear.
I don't know.
Oh, so he's like Hunter.
Well,
I have no. I wait. What did he? You know, I have. He's not into shoe polish. He's into that heavy Parmesan cheese, dude.
Yeah.
I got some Parmesan cheese right here.
Get that Parmesan.
Cat.
So, speaking about stupid young people taking completely fucking worthless degrees,
Mm-hmm.
here we go. Biggest university shake-up in a decade. Pupils who fail GCSE Maths and English will not get a student loan, and Mickey Mouse degrees face crackdown under new proposals.
Nice.
I'm not sorry about this.
Wait,
Like, I'm sorry,
what's the
but
Mickey Mouse
what degree are you gonna go and get if you fail both maths and English? Like,
Well,
what degree are you even gonna get onto? It's
You
not
can't
gonna
get
be a
degree
STEM
from
degree.
Math and English.
I reckon it's going to
apparently you
be gender studies, or race studies, or communism studies.
Tell me what a Mickey Mouse degree is.
Basically, it's just talking about like.
It's a
shitty
bullshit degree. It's the worthless trash like most sociology stuff.
Oh boy, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, my voice aches.
So it's your standard stuff like underwater feminist basket weaving.
Oh,
Or
or that their improv acting thing where they put baked beans in their hoo-hoos and then press it out.
What the fuck
What?
are you talking about?
What have you
It
been
was a
watching,
video.
Tim?
It was a video that Carl. It was one of the first videos I watched Carl make as Sargon of Akkad in 2014.
right.
Where people are sticking beans in their vaginas.
And then pressed it out and then painted with it, I guess. Kind of weird.
I don't remember that one. I remember the feminist period painting.
Yeah, I remember that.
It's
I
a,
started
Oh my god,
screaming.
this is brilliant for paint. No, stop it, stop it.
No, it's degenerate.
Stop it. That's not paint.
it's literally a biohazard. Put on the COVID hazmat suits, get the flamethrower, and burn the fucking shit away.
No, but it's us telling our story.
Like, I hate it because they're like, we shouldn't be too grossed out by the fact that there's periods because half the population has them. Fine. That doesn't mean you need to paint with it.
And either way, sorry.
There is a position somewhere between ew, periods are gross and we should never acknowledge they exist, and let's paint with this. There's a whole spectrum in the middle where we can have a position.
Yes, and also,
Or
it's
clearly
not
you would
because
say
it's a woman thing, you fucking nutters. It's because it's blood. Blood is icky. Keep the blood away.
Does this mean that Discordia has internalized misogyny?
Yes.
More specifically,
Yeah,
for
I've
me,
already been
it's
told
the
this.
fact that it's like,
Discordia also has externalized misogyny as well.
yeah, that's
Nice.
no, but from my perspective, it's like the fact that what makes me uncomfortable about the thought of like periods is that it's like bleeding out of a sex organ, right? So it's like if I started bleeding out of my dick, that would like suck. So like
Yes.
thinking about
That
periods-
And I'd also tell you to keep your dick blood the fuck away from me.
yeah.
Hey guys, something weird happened today. I've had pain in my stomach for the last week. Now
I got some
blood came out of
paint!
my dick.
I have something to paint with now, guys.
Oh God.
I can join the feminist painting.
You know, we should paint with our semen to show the feminists that we're proud. To
Get the
be
black
men.
light out. Ooh, look
Yeah.
at that one. And that one. And that one on the ceiling. There's a story behind that one.
Don't mind the one in the couch. Weird story.
Well, Billy Blogs said, what, they let people into universities that failed maths and English? What the fuck? They don't just let them in. They let them get loans to get in.
Yeah. So the thing is, like with this, the degrees would still exist, as far as I know, and they would still, I guess, accept people with the same criteria. Just the government wouldn't give you money
For
go
a
on
worthless
degree
piece of shit
that lets
degree.
you in without any fucking GCSE fucking qualifications.
Like, yes, if, any course you can get while being unable to read and write English probably isn't worth anything.
Could I be?
What
could
is
we
thing?
get-
What's English though?
Hell, I don't care. They need to be able to be good. People need to be good at least one language.
Their own.
Yo,
Preferably their own, yes.
look,
But this is also it's just GCSE. It's not even like normally you do GCSE, then you do I guess it's A levels in England, and then it's university. So this isn't even like the step you would normally do before university. This is like your basic bitch qualifications that you got when you're 16.
Yeah. Which, I mean,
Because I think I needed, I'd have to go back and check, but I think I needed at least one higher to get onto my degree, which was
yes,
like,
but
the
yours
next
was
step up in
also
Scotland.
STEM.
It was STEM.
Yes.
Sounds racist, guys.
Well, it's clearly misogynistic because it's STEM.
Oh, okay.
So let's see.
Yes.
Department for Education proposals to include restrictions on student numbers. Ministers want to crack down on lower quality courses offered at universities. Good.
Yep, good.
Students who do not achieve a
Make
great...
lower quality. It is so necessary to know CRT and BTC and blah blah blah.
Well, maybe they should also take those units out of the non-shitty courses too.
Yes.
What about CBT?
Well, I
courses?
think the first step is to straight up ban any form of public funding being used for these stupid fucking courses. That'd be
Well, that
nice.
seems to be what they're doing here, and it's a roundabout way of doing it, but it's a start.
Yep.
You know that the only courses who are taking people on who have failed both maths and English at that level are the likes of the gender studies degree.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no STEM subjects that are taking you on if you fail math and English at GCSE level.
Well, that's it. And even most of the non-STEM courses require you to at least have a passing knowledge of English.
Well, yeah, because you're required to write reports in university.
Indeed. What's some of the soft bullshit? Sociology is generally the one that's picked on because it's completely fucking worthless. But at least it's pretending to be factual. You need...
okay,
yeah,
I
you need
don't
to do a
need
lot of
sociological
academic writing in
degree
uni.
to know it when I hear it. Okay, folks.
Yeah, you need to do a lot of academic writing. And
Which means you need to be able to write English.
yes, funny that.
No, English standards are whiteness.
Good.
Tough.
What about yellow supremacy though?
Yeah.
China.
Well, yeah, I mean, we take care of that by discriminating.
Well, that depends. Are Asians white this week or not?
Yeah.
Mm, it depends, I
They're
guess.
they're less white than Jews are, but after whites and Jews, they're the lowest.
Yeah.
Well, Goim seems like a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right.
Has anyone seen that Incredibles meme?
Huh?
Okay. I'll put it. I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. Hi, Jonathan Crow has risen. Why do you tell us that you have morning bread?
Damn you bastard.
Oh, come on. When you go to Norway and say, Jeg har reisninger, people are immediately gonna think, like, why are you telling me this? Go tell your wife or girlfriend or boyfriend.
uh, dear.
I got some weird friends, okay?
Well, Crow is oversharing then.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Don't do that, Crow.
Base Tape says, at Jonathan Crow, I'm hard too. Oh dear.
Wow, 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 wow.
Something has been started in the chat.
Indeed, and it disturbs me immensely.
Pick your gun. Oh. From students failing to, well, future homosexual marriage, I guess.
Yeah.
What?
He's shipping Based and Crow.
Yeah, I don't know how it started, but here we go.
Hey, let's go to the article then, shall we?
Yeah, we gotta leave this now.
Yes, pupils who fail GCSEs and Maths and English will be banned from taking student loans in an attempt to restrict the numbers going to university and weed out pointless courses. Policy will be the biggest shake-up of universities since the Blair era, fucking Blair, when he wanted 50% of all young people to go on to higher education.
How do you weed them out? Do you just go around there and jingle a bell and and just say a talking point of CRT or some shit like that?
Well, no, if they believe in CSE, that means they're an idiot, which means they're too... It's simple. If you're stupid enough to believe CRT, you're stupid enough to fail math and English. Therefore, if you ban people that fail math and English from getting loans because they believe in CRT, well, you keep them out of university, which is good just in general. And if you keep the people who take these useless courses out, there'll be no money for the useless instructors, which means the courses will die.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Why do you think they're pushing for everyone to go to college?
Because they're useless and need money.
Well, you know why? So that they'll be indoctrinated in leftism. That's what they want. Yeah. How vibrant.
Indeed.
Tucker has such a fun cadence to imitate.
Indeed.
Cat! You're being a pet.
He's pretty much
Boy.
the reverse Teal'c.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a Stargate reference, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't get it.
Basically, Teal'c is a guy who speaks in a really monotone voice. Indeed. While Tucker Carlson, Huh?
Whereas Tucker Carlson has a lot of inflections.
Indeed.
So it says, alternatively, the ban could be aimed at those who fail to achieve 2 E's at A level, with some exceptions, such as for mature students. Wait, hold on. Aren't E's shit? Or do A levels work different?
I don't know. I didn't have A levels because the Scottish system is slightly different, but I would have thought it'd go like A to F, with E being pretty shit.
Yeah, with E being at least you spelt your name correctly on the test paper.
You showed up! Yay! I don't know. I would think that it would be A would be good and F would be you failed this. In
Well,
fact,
I thought that F
yeah,
was not
E would be like a no-show.
like I thought that F was not only did you fail, you failed so fucking badly that you might as well not come.
The F stands for fucked up.
Crow says, E, found your seat in a room filled with seats. Yes, you walked around the room and found the test paper with your name on it. Well done.
How bad is it when the teacher has to fill the name on your test for you?
Well, it's like an old joke. I can't remember where I heard it from. What do you mean you failed the test? Didn't you say you got 295? Yeah, but you get 300 for filling your name in right.
I used the capital letter on my first letter. Yeah.
So it's understood that poor quality refers to courses from which high numbers drop out and a low proportion go on to graduate jobs or further study. Now, I would have thought that meant bullshit degrees that never help anyone anyway.
These are probably the same thing.
At least it's not racist.
Well, that's
Why
where you're
not?
wrong, because I've seen a few headlines, mostly from the
We
Guardian,
can
to be
make
fair,
it racist
that have
if we
complained
try.
that they apparently, oh, this will hit low income and whatever people the hardest, and it's like, what, you
No.
saying that they're all dumb?
Are you saying that only black people are low income?
Yeah, there's like weird Freudian slips like that.
Oh, holy
that guy
shit!
What?
About a third of pupils currently fail to get a grade 4, the equivalent to a C or pass in English and maths. 30% can't
What?
pass math and English.
What?
What the
How?
fuck? This is why I say the education system's worthless as it stands.
What kind of level of schooling is this?
I'd assume roughly grade 10. So,
Okay.
like
Because I gotta be
3
honest,
years
I
before
suck
you
at
finish.
math. I suck at math except for 3 parts. 1, it comes to measuring. 2, no, actually, it's just 2 levels of math I know. The second is when you owe me money. Other than that, I suck at math.
George says, seriously, 30? Training obedient waves slaves much? Yes.
Which basic
Okay, so
economy could be
what else
part of
have we
math?
got? So ministers are also proposing to introduce controls on student admissions, so lower quality courses aren't incentivized to grow uncontrollably. Student numbers have
That's
spot. Yeah, it is. Student numbers have spiraled since tuition fees were tripled to £9,000 in 2012. £9,000, is that like a semester or a year or something? I wouldn't have a clue.
Wait, what was that?
Well, you know, why the hell are we subsidizing revolution?
What was that?
£9,000. Tuition
That's
fees.
a year.
Okay, a year.
That's a year. It was 3,000, and it shot up to £9,000 a year.
Yeah,
Mine was,
indeed.
but at least mine was a STEM subject, you know.
Yeah. It says, but ministers are now concerned at the proportion of university graduates who fail to earn enough to pay back their student loan. Well, yeah, no shit. If the highest paying job you can get with your degree is below the threshold, maybe the degree is useless.
Maybe you can learn to flip burgers at McDonald's.
Now, the problem is McDonald's generally doesn't want to hire people who are old enough to have graduated.
But that's the problem as well, like, because you end up in this situation, like, I've seen it happen to a lot of people, where they have a degree, and so the places like McDonald's and whatnot don't really want them because they know that they're just gonna leave when they find something else.
Yeah.
So you find yourself overqualified for a lot of jobs where they're like, it costs us money to train you to do this job that you're gonna spend the entire time looking for a new job while you're here. So no thanks. But then you can't find a graduate job, so you end up with these graduates who just can't get a fucking job.
And, yep. And it's certainly getting worse now. Thank you, government. Thank you, Sage. Thank you, all you scum-sucking bastard governments.
Yeah, that doesn't help.
So, worthless degrees, no jobs, shit economies. and apparently 30% of people can't fucking pass math and English.
That baffles me.
Like,
30% can't. Bear in
a
mind,
pass
this is
isn't
GCSE.
that fucking hard.
This is GCSE level. This isn't even like the highest level you do in high school.
Yes, I think that's like
That
grade 10
blows my mind.
equivalent. Like,
Just blows my mind.
I could probably do that well on a test now, when it's been over a decade since I gave a shit about school. It's fucking ridiculous. So, speaking of dipshit governments absolutely destroying economies and ruining the ability of people to get work,
Go on.
we have this article.
It gets worse.
Yeah, pandemic sets back Melbourne CBD 2 decades. Or as Voice for Victoria says, pandemic response sets back Melbourne CBD 2 decades.
There, fixed it.
In 2 years of incompetence, Dan Andrews has set the CBD back by 2 fucking decades.
What the fuck is the CBD?
Central business districts,
Okay.
center of a city.
I hear CBD and I think
Yeah,
this product.
fair enough.
Oh.
So they keep going, oh, the pandemic did this. No, it's the fucking
No, the
response to
government did
pandemic. The government, with the excuse of the pandemic, has set back the Melbourne CBD nearly 2 decades. A new analysis of visitor numbers shows as the full scale of the economic challenge facing the city emerges. Yeah, it's funny how when you have the longest lockdown in the world in your city, the businesses in the
any
city get
lockdown.
shut on. No.
No, it's the fault of the rich people, though. How dare the rich people?
Well, to be fair, the rich people own the politicians.
Yeah, how dare the rich people make money just because we close down all the small businesses? It's like, these people are so fucking stupid.
They really are. So, more than 1 in 5 shops across the city of Melbourne and 2 in 5 in Docklands are still empty, while CBD office vacancy rates are approaching all-time highs as companies try to offload unused floor space and supply in the market outstrips demand by nearly 3-1.
Yes, they've ruined the fucking economy. And the thing is, like, I don't know if it's the same over there, but the price of everything has gone up over here. So people are not going to get back into retail shops because they just can't afford to go there.
Exactly. And
Everybody's bills have gone through the roof.
Sounds
Everybody's
racist to me.
taxes have gone through the roof to pay for the fucking furloughs that we just gave everybody.
Except if you come over on dinghies.
Yes, and then you
Their
Then
just...
you
taxes haven't
require
gone
all
up.
the support.
So they keep saying, oh, there's good news though, the housing market has recovered, and shoppers are returning to the city on weekends, although not pre-pandemic numbers. Well, of course they're returning, you fucking idiots, they're allowed to now.
We let them out of their house and they came back.
Oh, here's some more terrifying stuff. Mobile phone data collected on behalf of the council shows the number of adults in the city on an average weekday peaked in 2019 at 824,000. It is now down to 660,000.
Yes, because you bankrupt half the fucking country by not letting them work and then raising their bills.
Yes. Fresh analysis by KPMG, Director of Demographics and Urban Economics, someone who doesn't matter, shows the number of residents, workers, students and visitors on the streets of central Melbourne are currently at levels below those seen in the mid to early 2000s. And even a relatively successful recovery in the coming months might see the city populated at 2009 levels. A generation. That, like, there are people who were born, went to school, and are now adults looking for work in that time frame, and yet it's still been reverted to 20 fucking years.
Oh
But
boy.
will anybody be held to account? That is the real question.
Of course not.
Why? Why would they do that? That's racist. Again.
Yeah. Oh, and of course, the new normal. So from what we are seeing at the moment as we transition back to the new normal, a busy day could be heading up towards 600,000 people in the city of Melbourne, but on a quieter day it could be down to 440,000, so half. Over the next 4 to 6 months, it could be 660,000 to 735,000, which means the city would be as busy as it was in 2004 or 2009.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Melbourne's population in 2009 was 3.85 million compared to 5.15 million today.
So proportionally, it's even worse.
Yes, proportionally it's even fucking worse.
Yeah,
it,
but
it gets worse.
It does.
Wait, what? I fucking hate this.
So basically they
Nobody
just
tells me
waffle
that the
bullshit.
people who has to pay for this shit are the ones who are not responsible.
Of course.
Of course.
Why would it not be?
Okay, here we go. So office sublease vacancy, based on square meterage by the looks of it. Historical average for Melbourne, about 40,000. Current, over 120,000. So only a factor of 3.
Oh boy.
All I'll say is that this it makes sense why Sager is stepping down and back into the shadows. I bet you'll find that your equivalent is doing very similar.
Indeed.
We were never here, guys.
And if you say we were, we'll call you racist.
Speaking of, I actually have that article ready.
Oh.
So.
Sorry. Spoilers! No, segue! Yes!
Segue! It was a segue. Good segue.
Your segue game is on point.
So here we go. Sage stands down, signifying end of the COVID pandemic in the UK.
Yeah,
At the same time that
out.
Hong Kong's going into a lockdown.
Yeah, they're trying to get out of there before the public realize exactly what they've done. They wanna be out of people's minds, I think. Like, Sage? No, what's Sage?
Yes.
You know, Witty that stood there fucking week after week imposing
Lying through his
nonsense on us.
fucking face.
He's just quietly stepping into the shadows now. Like,
Yep.
There's somebody in the shadows waiting for him.
Yeah, so they've been stood down in clear sign that the government believes the crisis is over. Although the group stands ready for a quiet, it will no longer meet regularly. The first time it has halted its ongoing response since January 2002. I think they fucked that. I think they mean 2020.
well, you know, they had to plot. I mean, what?
I mean, China's been doing the Wuhan things for years now.
Indeed. So the decision was taken after the government acknowledged that Britain has entered a new phase of its response and follows the lifting of all remaining legal restrictions in England as part of Downing Street's Living with COVID plan. You could have just done nothing, you fucking bastards.
It would be less suicide in that case, but hey.
Mm-hmm.
Look, they were a sacrifice the government was willing to make.
But don't worry, they're still going to be listening to Chris Whitty, the Chief Medical Officer, who should be disbarred from ever claiming that he's anything related to medicine.
Also, another good thing with British people committing suicide, there's more room for immigrants.
Yeah, here we go. So, Professor Carl Hennigan, director for of the Centre for Evidence-Based Medicine at the University of Oxford, said, "The standing down of SAGE signifies the end of the pandemic in the UK. This is a remarkable turnabout of events given that just before Christmas, the idiots at SAGE were warning infections could hit 2 million per day and were pushing for further restrictions. The government will need to review whether SAGE is fit for purpose when it comes to pandemics, particularly given its lack of clinical input and its over-reliance on modelling, which we now know is no more than guesswork and their tendency to fixate on a particular set of assumptions.
Yep.
But
They should be held to account. Like I think somebody mentions in the Dave mentioned in the chat collecting their knighthoods. Are they actually getting knighthoods?
well, I think some of them did, didn't they? Along with that fucking dipshit Blair.
Sagely advised,
Oh yeah,
I suppose.
Sir Patrick Vallance and Sir Chris Whitty.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Fuck's
Ruin
sake.
untold
Fuck's
numbers
sake.
of lives, and you become a knight. Wonderful.
Yep.
Ugh.
Thank you for ruining millions of your lives based on your utter bullshit. We are now going to reward you for it.
Maybe the queen is. Maybe this is a tactic by the queen, and what she just lifts the sword, turns it down, and sink.
Fucking Arnley. That's what the ritual's supposed to be about. She fucking well should have. Just run him through the neck.
Fucking. As
You
she
are
just,
not
touches the
worthy.
sword, and she's like, "This is not a knighthood. This is an execution, by the way." What? Slink.
Well, that's it. Touch them on one shoulder and then travel to the other shoulder through the neck. That's how it's supposed to work. Student of History says they've done such a great service by dragging the British public into an alley for a firm brutalising. Yeah, so the scum-sucking bastard organisation known as SAGE was first established in 2009 to tackle the swine flu pandemic and has been activated 10 times since then. But it's faced criticism, no shit, over the past year for over-reliance on modelling, which has been repeatedly shown to be so fucking wrong that throwing darts at a dartboard would have been more accurate. In mid-December, the idiots at SAGE urged the government to go further than Plan B restrictions and reintroduce more stringent measures to cope with the Omicron wave. You know, the one that the African doctors told us was far less severe. After models...
Yeah, what did the African doctors know?
Yes. After models they pulled out of their asses
That shit coming.
warned hospitalisations could peak between 3,000 and 10,000 a day and deaths between 600 and 6,000 a day. Where the fuck did they get 600 and 6,000 a day? Like, that range is so fucking useless. There will be more than one death this year. Yeah, thanks, fuckwits. The advisor suggested reintroducing measures equivalent to those in place after Step 2 or Step 1 of the roadmap in England, which would have placed Britain back in lockdown conditions. However, after taking advice from slightly less retarded people, the government chose not to bring in restrictions and death peaked at 306 on January 21st. So less than half of their minimum. While daily admissions never rose beyond 2,605.
But will they be held to account?
Of course not.
No.
No, they have unlimited power.
So, behind the scenes, the Telegraph understands that ministers have become increasingly frustrated with the pessimistic predictions from SAGE and are concerned the group does not fully take into account the damage to the economy, mental health and education from the lockdown. Oh, of course they don't. They got theirs and everyone else can fuck off and die. Earlier this week, Professor Graham Medley, chair of the Scientific Pandemic Influenza Group on Modelling, said a subgroup of...
It was nothing like the flu. We were told anyone who compared it to the flu was a conspiracy theorist.
Yes, and this is a subgroup of SAGE, warned that modelling cannot accurately predict the numbers and said predicting which of their scenarios would happen was just guesswork. Also known as bullshit.
Well, I'm really glad that we destroyed our economy based on guesswork.
Yep. Responding to the news that SAGE will no longer meet regularly, Dr. Tom Jefferson of the University of Oxford said, "I think this is really good news because it's been an absolute disaster for our society. They should have gone a long time ago." Oof! Oh, that's well done.
Give that man a knighthood.
Yep. Yeah. Execute the others and give that guy a knighthood just for that alone. He then says, the work of this group was all about guesswork, and if you're going to be ruled by guesswork, then we're all doomed. The Mongols have a track record of getting things wrong. Oh, stick the knife in and twist. Fucking oath. Yeah, so, speaking of horrendous damage to the economy, mental health, and education from the lockdowns, ooh, let's see. Furious international tourists unleash on shameful Australia for its COVID restrictions as the country finally reopens. Never coming back.
Well, like I can't say I disagree with it. Like, I would have loved to have visited Australia, but there's absolutely no way while this crap's going on that I'll go anywhere near there.
Exactly.
I
A
wanna go
completely
get
sane
Stuck
response.
in some fucking camp somewhere.
Yep, you don't want to be kidnapped by fucking government thugs, shuffled off to a camp because you had a slightly high temperature.
I don't want to be beaten in the street because I didn't show my papers.
Pay money to that shit.
Like, sorry, you can keep your fucking crazy country.
I'd rather not. Webpage with 1 million followers full of negative comments about Australia. One post called Australia a dictatorship and another said off my bucket list. Both are correct. Prime Knight says, so the gulags was not a pleasant experience. Well, that means 2 months more in the gulag. That does seem to be, well, that certainly seems to be the Canadian response.
Yeah, I shan't be visiting Canada either.
Well, that's it. Like, New Zealand being part of the Commonwealth and just off our shores. For years, I wanted to go over there and, like, visit the Lord of the Rings bullshit, go skiing and snowboarding. No chance in hell am I ever going to that fascist hellhole.
And that's an Australian. He's almost as bad.
Yes! Like,
They have fucking greater standards.
I'm in Queensland, and I refuse to even go on holiday outside the state. New South Wales was insane. Victoria was longest lockdowns in the world. Western Australia, they've only recently reopened their borders to vaccinated people. Northern Territory put Aboriginal children in camps and then sent police after them when they went, fuck this shit, and left.
But they weren't prisoners.
No, it was totally voluntary that they were there, which is why they were hunted
they
down by the
actually-
police and captured.
It was voluntary up until the moment they decided to leave.
Yes. Funny how that dictatorships work like that.
Leo, I've asked you to get off my desk. Come on.
So,
Today, cat.
Australia has copped massive backlash from international tourists and airline staff after being shut off from the rest of the world for almost 2 years due to the, and again they say due to the COVID pandemic, no, due to the government's stupid fucking response to the pandemic. The country welcomed back returning Australians and international tourists last week for the first time in 704 days. That's right.
704 days.
That long.
Yep, and the unvaccinated still can't travel, by the way. Well, they can with all sorts of stupid restrictions. But you need
Also,
government permission.
Only to the people with the papers.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Only to the people with papers.
Metaverse.
Exactly.
Papers.
Live in your pod, sit on the metaverse, eat the bugs.
Papers, please.
But not everyone, it says, not everyone has celebrated the news. For many, it was too little, too late, and Australia's lost their tourist dollars forever. Yeah, fucking oath.
Yes.
It's like saying, why would you want to travel to Australia? So here's some of them on Facebook by the looks of it. It's a big no thanks from me after seeing how they treat people.
Yep.
Yep. Another one says, no thanks, my dream about visiting that country is broken after what I saw during the hardest pandemic times. Fucking
Yep.
oath.
Based.
Another says, I wouldn't come here for a while. Travellers need to be double vaxxed, while locals need to be triple in some states. Some not happy that travellers are not tripled. Mandates are cruel. Yes, yes, and yes.
Fucking these people. Whoever you are, awesome.
Yeah. So some of the complainants are opponents of vaccine mandates who have vowed never to visit Fortress Australia even after the country reopened to jab tourists. Yes, that's right.
Or-
Only the jabbed.
Oh, yeah.
Australia had some of the longest lockdowns anywhere in the world over the course of the pandemic. Yeah, no shit, with Melbourne being the world's longest lockdown city. Yeah, we covered that, and it completely destroyed them. It set them back a generation.
And I would assume that you have quite a big tourist industry as well normally.
It's like our only industry other than coal.
You know, you have weather.
Well, that's the
like, sunshine.
well, that's basically it. Our tourism industry is based on Europeans going, you know what? Fuck this rain and snow. Let's
Yeah,
go
we're
be somewhere
basically
warm.
Moths, okay, we're basically moths. We're like sun. Just head towards it.
Also, you want to live dangerously
It-
by
I-
going to a country which every waking moment is trying to kill.
I tell you what, one of the funniest things you can do is stand at an international airport in the middle of the Australian summer and wait for the flights from England. They get to the exterior doors of the airport open, and they're still like 10, and these people are still like 10 meters inside the airport, and you can just see their faces fall as they're nearly knocked over by the inrush of heat. It's fucking hilarious. Like you can actually, it's like they literally hit a physical wall. They come to a dead stop. It's hilarious. And of course, being in a different hemisphere, remember they're coming from places like in England, like 0 degrees Celsius, places in Europe where it's like -10, and then they're walking out into 30, 40 degrees.
I can confirm that experience because I gone to Crete once during high summer, and when you sit inside a airplane which is cooler than Norway. I mean, it was a cold day and the airplane was even colder. So I was sitting there in like long pants and regular clothing I wear during the fall, right? And then when I go out of the plane, it's like heat has been congealed into a hammer that smacks me in my face.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, it's
I
very
did not
useful
expect it.
Australia, you have air conditioning pretty much in most of the major buildings.
Well,
like,
you're kind of required.
You
You have to.
you don't have that in the UK. When we get a hot summer, it's a fucking nightmare.
Mm.
Nowhere's prepared for it.
Yeah.
We're
Yep.
literally
I
prepared for
noticed
no
it
weather
was
that we
horrible. The
Yeah.
one time I went to England, and it was during in 2015, during the hottest part of the summer. I had to go down to the reception and get their fan in order to sleep through the heat.
Well, it's funny in a really sick way when England's having their heat waves and people are dying by the dozens from the heat wave, and then I turn around and in the middle of winter the current temperature's warmer.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, our houses are not
I know, they're
not
designed for
designed
cold
it.
weather and not designed for heat.
Also,
It's
you have to
basically
remember that-
how I react whenever I look down towards England and I see there's like this tiny, tiny sprinkle of snow on the road, and there's chaos and people dying on the roads. And I'm just sitting there just like, dude, I don't even need to change tires. What the fuck?
You also have to remember that as you get into hotter climates, your blood thins out as well, which makes it much easier for you to cope with heat that happens. Whereas when you've been living in a colder environment, because your blood's thicker, if you suddenly go into a hot environment, it completely fucks you up. It's your body's not prepared at all by that point.
Oh yeah, but I'm just saying it's a weird sick schadenfreude.
Yeah, it's kind of funny, yeah.
Yeah. It's not a good thing, it's just...
I mean, you can say it's not a good thing, but I find it hilarious.
Yeah. What else we got? So back on the article, we've got a few more comments. So someone else says Australia has lost me as a future tourist because of what they did to their people. Yep.
Yes.
If Australia thinks the world will flock back to their shores after what people have witnessed there over the past 2 years, they're dreaming. Yep.
Yep.
This place here
Let
is...
me guess. Everybody who answers that are white supremacists.
I'm sorry, but you're absolutely wrong. You're all wrong about this because children.
Well, fuck off to
are
Australia then.
stupid. No, children are stupid. They have no recollection of anything that's gone on. All of the young millennials, alpha generation, or whatever, will be like, "Oh yeah, Australia's hot and cool. Let's go there." they will have no memory of the pandemic, they'll have no memory of the tyranny, and they will completely forget everything that happened. In about 5, 10 years' time, everyone
They
will be
have
dead.
no social interactional ability. They
Well,
are they are
it
emotionally
just
and socially
needs to be.
stunted.
The tourism industry just needs to die for a few years to throw out
That
all the
might
trash.
That might happen, yeah. But at the very least, it won't be a forever thing because
No,
unfortunately, people
unfortunately.
are really easy distracted. They're like you just have to look at the campaigns in America for the Edward Bernays' work and stuff like that to see just how easy people are to manipulate it.
Yeah.
As much as you might want
Also,
to
if people
say,
just
"Oh
want
yeah,
to
we never
get
go
out
back,"
of their
people
old
will.
lives and into something new.
Yeah, but don't come to Australia. Go to Florida. It's basically the same.
Only better and less
Only
popular.
better in every way.
For a long time, I wanted to repatriate just for the sake of coming back to where I was born and seeing what everything was like. But like, I just don't feel like I'm even welcome there anymore.
I mean, are you triple vaxxed?
Not even one vaccine.
Then
Exactly.
you're
So
not
you're straight up not welcome.
Yeah.
You could
Then-
lean
then
on
I can
your
tell
you
you
being
you're
a
not welcome.
crow. You could lean on the
And
fact
it
that you're a
doesn't.
crow.
It doesn't matter that you're an Australian citizen either,
Shoot me the shotgun.
because the unvaxxed citizens are still getting fucked over. But
No,
if
no,
you're a
because
double
you're a crow,
vaccinated migrant
Nobody will
worker,
try to harm you because they know that crows and magpies carry grudges like dwarves.
oh well, if he's a crow, they'll just shoot him at the border for being a foreign animal.
Oh shit.
Which,
Yeah, they will.
if we well, the one thing Australia does well is it takes its biosecurity at the borders very fucking seriously.
I mean, I would be more
But
concerned
should we-
about things coming out of Australia than things going in. It's like, oh, the animals might come in. Like, yeah, but all the deadly ones are already there, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, well,
Yeah, but we
What-
don't
what-
want him to absorb the DNA of others and become more deadly.
haven't you seen snakes on a plane? Look, you don't have to worry about the animals getting out. Haven't you seen snakes on a plane? It's
Yeah.
just like that, but this time the plane ditches in the ocean.
We can.
I'm tired of these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
Yep.
I'm tired of these motherfucking planes on this motherfucking snake.
What?
Oh dear. So we've got some more comments from the Facebook. What I'm saying, Australia's famous for two things: lockdowns and toilet paper wars. Another man correctly asserted Australians are living under fascism, saying I will never go there, nor will most people who thought about it.
Yep.
Dictatorship has embarrassed itself more than ever. Well, hey, at least we have New Zealand and Canada to make us look good.
Yeah, but they're not letting people back in yet, are they?
No.
Okay,
Not
toilet
quite
paper
yet.
wars? What the fuck?
Well,
Did you not see people fighting over toilet paper?
yeah, people were fighting over toilet paper because they're idiots. And when the government
What
announced,
America?
when
No, America copied the.
Oh.
remember,
Americans and England copied
the
it, so-
Australian politicians really like fascism. So when they turned around and said, we're going to lock everyone in their houses for 2 weeks, idiots went out and just brought hordes of toilet papers, and there was none left in the stores.
Mhm.
So,
okay.
And then people saw it and started doing it over here and in America as well, because
I was
they
gonna
saw
ask,
footage
is
from
North
other
Korea
countries.
open to? Have they got open borders yet? North Korea.
Well,
don't
they're
think-
probably more open than fucking Australia's.
I was gonna say, if North Korea is doing better than you, then you're doing a bad job.
Yeah. So we've also got some stories from flight crews. One said that how they treated the crew. I wish never to come back there, like we were the virus ourselves. Nowhere were meals for us left on the floor except in Australia. Well, no thank you.
Well, I mean, obviously you are a piece of shit. You're only flight crew. They literally don't care about you.
Well, why would the Australian government care about foreigners? They don't care about their own citizens.
Oh well, yeah.
Foreigners.
But what could they possibly have done differently to all the lockdowns and the border closures? If only there was a country that had done things differently, that we could study to look at. Oh, I know.
That
How
sounds
about
racist.
Sweden?
Sweden's not a country. What are you talking about?
It is now, damn it.
Sweden's no lockdown policy was right, and countries that enforced them had significantly worse outcomes.
Report
Yep.
by its
Wow!
What? Wow.
That's
Nobody
really
could have
as
predicted
good as
that.
narrative.
yeah. Who
My
could have
mind
ever
is
seen that?
blown.
I thought this was fake news, misinformation. Quick,
Sweden
get
did something right.
Zuckerberg on the case.
Yes. The suck is on the way.
Yeah. So
Justin Coscu, Queen of Blackface?
It's fake news.
Kosescu, Queen of Blackface. I assume that.
Alternative facts.
hmm
Alternate facts.
So, Sweden has
False
completed a report into the nation's handling of COVID-19. The report praises the decision to avoid a full lockdown like other countries. But the idiots also said that some restrictions could be implemented soon. No, they never should have been implemented at all. So, they say Sweden made the correct decision by avoiding a full COVID-19 lockdown and relying on their population's common sense, commission into the handling of the virus as claimed.
Wow, imagine that. Population with common sense.
Yep. Swedish experts
Well,
said repeated
Norway had
lockdowns in other European countries were neither necessary nor defensible.
Jesus.
Yep.
Yeah. According to
And the
the
trials?
never, because it's all run by the fucking WEF.
Honestly, that would be the only exciting thing about World War III. Maybe the WEF would get crushed.
Well, I thought the latest one was that Putin's also a WEF stooge, and he just invaded
Oh, yeah,
Ukraine to
yeah.
distract from COVID.
He was on the WF website, but they took him off.
Yes,
They took him off last
yes,
week. Got demoted, I guess.
yeah.
You wouldn't let Klaus Schwab be a colonel in the Russian military, obviously.
Oh, I see. I see.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. According to the report, the decision to provide advice and recommendations which people were expected to follow voluntarily had been fundamentally correct. The authors said Swedes are able to keep more of their personal freedoms than other countries. Yeah, no fucking shit. We've been making that point for a year.
It's almost as if people are better at self-governing.
Indeed.
But
What?
wanting freedom was basically trying to kill Granny.
Wanting freedom, it's Nazism, remember? If you want freedom, you're a Nazi.
It's always funny to me when people are like, "Oh yeah, wanting to do all these things to do with freedom makes you literally an authoritarian." I'm like, what
But
about
no.
freedom? An authoritarian match. I mean, you know what a liberal is, right?
Yeah, it's, you know what? This reminds me of an ex of mine. We were talking about fucking Jeremy Corbyn wanting to appropriate people's houses. You know, when he
Oh,
wanted to
yeah.
take homes off people, and I was like, he shouldn't be allowed to do that. And my ex literally turned around at me and called me authoritarian right for that opinion. And I just looked at him, just deadpan, like, I don't think you know what those words mean.
Well, that's the stupidest thing about a lot of the things people say. Oh, that's authoritarian. Oh, that's fascist. Hold on a second. I'm saying the government shouldn't do stuff. Saying the government shouldn't do stuff is never authoritarian or fascist.
It's just like, what?
But, like, by definition, saying the government should fuck off isn't authoritarian or fascist.
I feel like you're just repeating words that you've heard somewhere.
It's
My friend
mean
told me that
against
you
the
disagree with my
government.
opinion, and therefore you're authoritarian because you're ignoring
Yeah,
me.
pretty much.
Yeah.
My opinion is the right opinion, and you're wrong.
Dare you
Honestly.
agree?
I'm really grateful to my father and my parents in general for just teaching me how arguing actually works, rather than just assuming everything. I had to actually argue for my pocket money every year. You know, like, what have I done? Why do I
Nice.
deserve it? Everything like that. Because nowadays I look at these kids and they literally just don't even understand basic arguments and why words mean what they mean, and they use the wrong word and think it's normal. I'm like, come on, man.
When they try to learn what irony is.
Um,
That's a
Probably
headache in
thinks it's
50.
actually to do with an actual iron.
Yeah, probably.
9 irony.
So, according to the Telegraph, the report warns against imposing further lockdowns in response to a new serious epidemic outbreak. Good. As they fucking should. Swedish officials claim some countries that impose lockdowns had significantly worse outcomes than the Scandinavian country, which is true.
Show me a country that's done better.
Exactly.
I mean, Norway's just better in general, but I'm gonna admit they got us beat there. Don't tell the Swede I said that.
Yeah. So they did fuck. The authors of the study do fuck up one thing. They said restrictions should have been placed on indoor settings. No, they shouldn't have.
Indoor settings?
Yeah, it basically, you can only have X percentage of the people that you normally have in there and stupid crap like that.
I mean, they
Yeah,
should
we
have
have
some
that shit.
restrictions. They should
Doesn't
have
work.
people, who have money and who are polite and have table manners.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be any of the government's fucking business.
Government mandated manners.
Well, I
That
thought that
does
was the
sound like a
fucking
British thing.
point of the government.
Government mandated manners. That sounds really British, to be honest.
Government mandated
I-
manners.
So, as part of the sentence, they say,
It does sound like something that would be comedic and happen
Yeah.
around here.
So the last sentence they have is the author said restrictions should have been placed on indoor settings, and the use of masks should have been encouraged at an earlier stage. Look, if they want to encourage mask wearing, I don't give a flying fuck. It's this requiring
As
it
long
that
as
I've
it's
got a
just
problem with.
encouraging. Like, encourage people if you want, I don't care. Just don't make them do stuff.
Yes, and if you are going to encourage them to wear a mask, don't tell them that cloth masks fucking work.
Yeah, give them the actual fucking
Yes.
data as well. Just be like, this style of mask might give you some protection, like, but here's the risks of having a dirty piece of cloth over your face all day.
Well,
Like,
that's
these
it.
masks will give some protection in this scenario. These N95 masks might give you more protection if you're vulnerable. Like, just give them the actual data and be like, it's up to you if you want to wear it or not.
Like, if they want to turn around and go, cloth masks block 10% of particles. We recommend that you wear them in accordance with the mask wearing guidelines. Not a fucking problem. From a government's point of view, a 10% reduction in particles is probably a good thing. Not an issue. Mandating that they wear a device that's only 10% effective? Tyrannical and ridiculous.
The thing is, like, I can't see how it's particularly good for people wearing what would inevitably become a dirty piece of cloth over their face all day.
Well, it wouldn't.
Like, I found myself when they first brought it in and like they were making everyone wear them. Like, I was coughing every time I put fucking mask on. Just
Imagine how
having
my
this
staff
piece of
felt.
thing
Well,
over my fucking face.
That's it. It's
And
like
then I'd start coughing because I had this thing on my face. And I'm like, now it looks like I've got the fucking cough.
Imagine my staff's problem. They're having to clean massive fucking mansions while wearing all this fucking PPE crap. It is so hot as it is already. To then have a mask over your face warming you up, it is exhausting. And we didn't mandate it with our staff. We just told our staff if they want to, they can wear them if they.
Yeah, and I can confirm that. I've done a lot of stuff outdoors in heat, wearing masks, both proper respirators. Oh, I'm in Australia second. Both wearing respirators because I needed them and they work, and wearing these stupid cloth bullshits because I'm in Australia and the government's a bunch of cunts.
Oh, apparently I'm very low.
Yes, I turned you up a bit. So we'll see if there's any.
I did turn my mic up a bit, but I don't want to peak it.
No.
I could just yell at everybody. But,
Would be preferable if you didn't.
Are you able to yell at people? You have too much of a mellow voice to be a proper yeller voice.
I've been practicing doing metal screaming.
Oh God!
Slowly,
Please
but I'm
don't
getting
demonstrate.
there. Oh, I sound really good.
No.
Like, the thing is, this microphone is perfectly designed for like heavy metal screaming and. All, I mean, this is the same mic that was used to record Thriller.
Don't
Not
start screaming.
specifically the same mic. But
Could you do like a proper
Like a really
wog
good-
noise, unlike that weak attempt that Callum keeps trying to do?
oh yeah, I could do proper walk. Yeah, I'm not gonna do it now, but
Wonderful.
I can do one.
All right.
I was actually working on orc impressions to send in some video comments because I thought that'd be funny.
Good sometimes.
Ah,
That's.
bless you.
I've just remembered, thanks to the sneeze.
You're welcome.
The other point I was going to make about masks. Go and find a nursing manual from 2019 or earlier and see what they say about mask wearing. You wash your hands before you take the mask out of the box and put it on your face. Then wash your hands again. If you touch the mask at any point, you throw it out and repeat the procedure to get a new one.
Yep.
And if the mask is soiled, throw it out, get a new one.
What I love
Between
is
patients, throw them out and use them if you need infection prevention between patients.
cross contamination is such a massive deal, especially even in the cleaning industry, let alone like nursing.
Yeah.
But like when it came to videos coming out from India and China of these places but making thousands of masks, and they're just in these dirty little factories, literally with all the masks on the floor strewn out, waiting to be packed up and shipped. I'm kind of like, yeah, that's healthy, isn't it? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
really gonna help.
To roll it around in the corona before we pack out. There we go. There we go.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah. And these idiots are also going, oh, but masks don't make it harder to breathe. No, a well-fitting mask that filters anything at all makes it harder to breathe.
I have a full sealed N95 mask for paint spraying. And I remember wearing that to the shop and people driving past me and just cackling in laughter. But I'm like, why are you laughing? This is the only thing that actually works. Fuck you.
Yeah. Well, I've got proper masks for painting, welding, shit like that.
Mm,
And even with the release valve, because it's for protecting me, not for protecting the thing I'm welding from me, even that makes it significantly harder to breathe. And that's a properly designed, expensive mask with all sorts of government standards on it. Because, and that's the thing with even the 3-layer masks. You can't, there's no government standard on that. There's no standard number that tells you how many particulates of what size that mask blocks.
Yeah, that's the thing as well. Like, had they been effective, you would have had like actual standards on them, where there would have been some sort of body checking them to see that they met the standard that would prevent.
Like the KN95s, which are
Yeah,
still of
but
debatable
instead-
efficiency at stopping viruses. But at
Like,
least they stop dust.
You could walk into a shop, and I've done this, where it's like, oh, I don't have a mask, and the guy on the door is giving me the evils, where you would literally lift your t-shirt up over your nose, walk past him, and then take it off again, and they're like, yeah, that's cool. That's fine.
Okay, so I have just reached across to grab the box of masks that I have. It is from a brand called Swiss Care. Ear loop face mask, disposable 3-ply. Now, if I go down onto the side, it says, caution, single use only. All mask components should be inspected prior to each use. Do not alter, repair, wash, and misuse the mask. Keep away from fire or flame. Do not reuse and do not wash.
Misuse.
And
Do
then-
not misuse the mask.
And I shit ye not, in the bottom right, it says this mask is not for medical use.
Oh boy.
And would you
Like,
like
it's not
to?
regulated.
And would you like to guess where I bought them?
Tesco?
Pharmacy.
Just because it's called a surgical mask doesn't make it actually a surgical mask.
Yep. And there is no.
Style.
Yep, it says it on the other end of the box as well. And nowhere on this box is there an Australian standards number.
Mhm.
Is it Chinky Choo?
Yeah, does it say made in China?
Just you just hear the he hang chi hang a ha chi ching chong.
Made in Wuhan.
You now have coof.
Meanwhile, if I lean over and grab a pair of pants for use when working on roads, there's an Australian standards label on that to guarantee that's sufficiently reflective.
Yeah, but does
Yeah,
it
but those
guarantee
are
viral
standards, though.
like filtration?
I don't
Yeah, do
think.
your pants filter the virus? Do they?
No, no, they don't. Actually, that does remind me of a really stupid anti-mask argument I saw that I just want to slap the person because it makes our side look stupid. They said, if pants don't stop farts, how can masks stop viruses? And I wanted to find them in person and strangle them because of how fucking stupid that is.
He does have a point, though.
No, he doesn't.
Trip,
I
bad
don't know.
trip, bad.
Like
Bad trip.
when viruses become the same as particulates of fart, then we have to worry, I guess. They're
Fart
very large.
virus.
Well, that's it. When viruses are molecules, then we've got a fucking
Epidemic of
problem.
fart.
Look, they're just
one
that's
day.
how they're. That's a new form of transmission for the virus.
Yeah.
Farts.
Well,
That's
isn't
why
that?
they wanted to do the anal swabs. If you remember, they tried
Yeah.
to push that for a while.
But it annoyed me so much because they're sitting there going, "Oh, but a fart can get through pants." Yes, and pants have holes that are millions of times bigger than those in even a shitty cloth mask. And the smells in a fart are molecules of gas. Like, fuck's sake, make us look stupid.
Some people are not smart, okay?
Yeah,
Some people.
Intelligence not
Understatement.
included.
yeah. It doesn't come with the standard human package.
Sadly.
Most people are not smart.
Yeah.
I'm not even sure if most people are people, to be honest.
Yeah. So let's actually look at the article. No. So it says cloth masks barely filter any particulates. Yep. Making them near useless for prevention of COVID spread. Yep. Researchers built a computer model to simulate how well the masks filtered out particles and found that 90% were able to get through. Unsurprising. Because cloth masks are made like clothing and do not have filtering material built in, they fail to filter many particles. Experts recommend using olefin KN95, which is considered to be the gold standard by health officials. And even then, we've seen research papers where there was no difference between regular masks and KN95s. So,
well, the thing is,
yeah.
are they even regulated, or can anybody just sell a mask as a 95?
I mean,
like
well, that's a good
filter thing on
question.
it?
And whose standards? What country's standards?
What are the standards?
It's gotta be
Yeah.
Chinese standards.
Like, where's
obviously.
the list? Where's the list of what it needs to meet to be 10% effective? Where's the list?
Standards are cruel. Standards are cruel.
Well, let me do
And
some
effective.
Googling on DuckDuckGo,
I wouldn't do
misspelling
that.
the word standard.
Some ducking.
They might
What,
send
what,
you
do, what do you
forced
call it when
to
you
have-
go Google something? Like ducking or
I ducked it.
Sounds
duckling? Duckling.
duckling. Oh god,
Duckla.
that's way too cute.
I ducked it.
You, my friend, are ducked.
Okay. So there are standards that KN95s need to meet, and 60% of KN95 respirators NIOSH evaluated during the COVID-19 pandemic did not meet the requirements that they intended to meet. Oops.
Imagine my shock.
Okay.
Wow, you sounded so British then.
So, what to know about NIOSH approved respirators? Well, they must seal to your face when fitted properly, must fit your face, are evaluated against a specific US standard, and they filter at least 95% of particles in the air when approved by NIOSH and when you have a proper fit.
Oh, I love the fact that so many people were wearing like beards with masks and thinking that they work.
Yes, and you just can't. And they knew
Yeah,
that
you'd
in
have
World
to
War
shave.
One.
Like
You'd have to
there is that.
shave too.
I'm sure I've shared it before, but there is that company selling the beard mask, which is just a really long mask that doesn't do anything.
Well,
It's just a fashion statement. It's fucking stupid.
A beard mask, so like the grudge bearers, dwarves would like that, I guess.
Yeah, basically, it was like literally. I don't know how you describe it, but like a normal mask, but instead of coming in under your chin, it came extended down where your beard would be.
it was basically just a really long one, and it was fucking stupid.
It's like a
Nathan
face napkin.
Nathan T says, "You mean there's a quality control problem with these cheap mass-produced products?" No. Well, actually, there isn't a quality control problem with them because they are working exactly. They are to the exact standard the manufacturer intended. Bullshit. Because the manufacturers
So-
don't give a flying fuck.
Yep.
Oh, the barrels
So
of wheels
all
of
these
cheese will
people
bring
who
them
are
to
wearing
their
masks,
knees.
like, because I bet the 10% thing is ones to actually like some kind of standard, not what most people
Bread
are wearing.
and standards.
The fuck
What's
are
the
standards?
standards thing from again?
For some
So,
reason, I got a song that is about loading cannon barrels with wheels of cheese on my brain for some reason.
mhm.
Sounds
But
like normal.
they say experts have discovered that these masks are doing little, if anything, to actually stop the spread of the virus. And here we actually have a really good picture that demonstrates what we were talking about. So a fabric mask, when you get down to 50 micrometers, nanometers, whatever it is, like just one fiber with space all around it. And but if you're using a proper surgical mask, and you go down to 25
Yeah,
micrometers,
that's nano. That's nano.
nano. Okay, that's
That's
sweet.
the same. Or no, not my bad. That's micro.
Okay, it is micro. So, but when you go
Yeah,
down to 25
It's the
micrometers,
same prefix used for LSD doses.
nice. So you go down to 25 micrometers for a surgical mask. Well, okay, so there's actually fibers all over the place, which is a good start. But again, like the box of so-called masks that I've completely fucking put behind me. Yeah, ear loop face mask looks exactly like that surgical mask. But it's completely fucking useless.
Yeah, but it looks like it, and that's all that really matters. That
Well,
everybody
yeah, that's
knows
why
that
I'm not
you
concerned about it.
comply. They know that you comply.
Yeah.
Weird.
And surgical masks are essentially fucking useless anyway. Well, what they advertise as surgical masks are in the public. The ones used by actual surgeons are probably quite a lot better. But again, they're not designed for viruses. They're designed for bacteria because surgeons tend to lean over gaping chest holes in people.
Yeah.
And bacteria in gaping flesh wound, not good.
Well, not to
Yeah.
mention not just bacteria, but blood splatter as well, since blood is a risk factor.
Yes, it also helps to keep. It's more. It helps to keep things like blood and bacteria out of the surgeon. Like this is why they also
Especially
have the
with
eye
this,
shields and things in surgery to keep blood out of faces. And yes, you can find a lot of awful things if you go poking in the intestines, especially if they've got, say, a ruptured colon.
I mean, if you look at any autopsy, they examine everything: the stomach, the
Yep.
guts, what you ate, all sorts. They even when my brother was autopsied, they actually took his brain out and weighed it and stuff.
Mm.
It's kinda
Yeah,
cool.
they do.
Weighed his
What?
heart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you'll notice that when they're doing autopsies, they're wearing proper surgical masks at the minimum and a full face shield.
Mm.
Because, you don't want bits of a dead guy getting in you and killing you from whatever killed them.
Especially when you're trying to figure out what killed them.
Or when hand washing was invented. Maybe if you're poking the dead body, don't go and help a pregnant woman deliver a baby. Like, that's literally the story of how hand washing was figured out before the theory of what is it? Before the germ theory of disease. Like a doctor was observing that, when the other doctors go over there and do an autopsy and then go over there and play with a pregnant woman, the pregnant woman and baby die a lot more often. What if we washed the dead body bits off the hands with chlorine beforehand? Oh, look at that. The survival rate goes up.
Surprising. Very surprising.
Imagine my shock.
And of course, most places only require the cloth masks to meet the standards because it's not about preventing the disease, it's about compliance.
God, that fucking article that was like, mask mandates don't need to make sense.
Yeah.
What fucking
But
stupidity.
then it's like fucking total mask off moment, and then they're like, oh, why don't people trust us? Why do they think we want to control them? What's with all these conspiracy theories? It's like, yeah, I wonder.
Because you come out straight out and say on national TV that you are part of the Great Reset and the new normal.
And you'll live in the pod and be happy.
Yes. Like, remember when the New South Wales Chief Health Officer literally said on TV that it's part of the New World Order?
The gods of
Yeah,
the New
but then
World
the
Order.
fact checkers come out and they're like,
They didn't. No, that's false. They didn't say that.
they
My-
didn't mean to say that. That's not what they meant.
How dare you?
But, yes, mostly false. They, despite the fact that they straight up said the thing. Oh, but what they really meant was, no, that's not what we're asking. What we want to know is, did they say the thing or not? Who cares about their reasoning behind it?
Yeah, in hindsight. Oh, no, I didn't mean that. Well, that's what he said.
You're supposed that your job is to purvey information to the public. If you don't mean what you say and say what you mean, you're fucking useless at your job.
Dare you put them to standards? That is so cruel and racist.
Yes, how dare we?
Standards is a racist tactic that must be destroyed no matter the cost.
Yeah, standards are whiteness, don't you know?
Yeah. No, it's not
Based.
just whiteness, it's whiteness.
No straight white male needs an AK-15.
No, but apparently straight white Ukrainian males need select fire assault rifles.
They get all
Also, the transgender women in Ukraine also need select fire assault rifles because according to Ukraine, they're still fucking men. Well, they're probably probably men and fucking men, but you know what I mean.
Man, that is so problematic. I'm really offended right now.
Oh no. Oh gee.
Maybe we should just nuke Ukraine. Get it over and done with.
The horror!
Yeah, it'd be kind of funny if the left now turns on Ukraine, where they're like, actually, we're on Mr. Putin's side because Ukraine they misgendered the trans people.
I mean, as long as you're towing the party line, everything is okay. But once you go against them, woohoo! God
Have you ever
ain't gonna
noticed
help
Putin
you
sounds
now.
a bit like pudding.
Well, and the leftists like Putin.
And Harley
Hey,
Quinn.
Puddin'.
Hey, Putin, eh?
I don't know. Every time I see these stupid efforts to control things and people being offended that people
Leo,
are posting
go
things when
away.
things are going
Go
on.
away.
Like these people are, oh, you posted a selfie while Ukraine's in danger. I'm like, what the fuck what is anybody supposed to do about Ukraine?
Speaking of people posting selfies, did anybody see Thunderfoot's fucking contribution to the war?
No,
No,
I saw it
and
a long time ago.
didn't hit
The
that
moment-
guy go woke and stupid.
Yeah, as soon as Brexit happened.
Wait,
'cause he
Thunderfoot
lost a
still
bunch of funding
exists?
from the EU.
Well, no, they
know.
the true Thunderfoot died years ago.
Yeah,
He's
that's
just
what I
been
thought.
replaced with a robot.
It's
that looks
just a
like him.
woke shell now.
Hang on, let me. Leo, fuck off! You've just pulled my headset out.
Oh, naughty kitty.
Let me see if I can find this because just when you, I think most of the people watching probably know who Thunderfoot is. Cat, I swear to God, unless you want to be kicked out of this room, get out from
I
under my
swear
desk.
to fucking Christ.
Me-
You
what-
keep this up, I'll fucking toss you like I'll toss Cabus.
You're gonna get it all.
Meanwhile, Prime
Okay,
Knight's.
calm down, tiny lady. Calm down.
Meanwhile, Prime Knight says, "What a 4D chess move for Putin. Some tolerance for trans and demonize the Ukrainians as bigots."
There we go. I'll
Where's the
send it to
picture?
you. I will put it also in.
Oh God, that's so fucking
live
gay.
shows. Like, I think most of the people watching will probably have some idea who Thunderfoot is, but it's just
Oh,
like that's his
God.
contribution to the fucking war. Like,
Wow.
stunning and brave. Stunning and brave.
Yes,
He
so
literally looks like a
brave.
cuck. How does he look like such a cuck?
I think it's
Why
the
does he
chin.
have a
Like, he has
chin?
no chin.
Yeah, where's
Yeah.
the
He
chin?
used to look
Like,
so
he-
cuckolded, though.
He has.
used to
Well,
look
he
more
he, he
strong.
became a
Okay.
leftist years ago.
He has like an anti-chin. Like it's like his chin goes all the way in.
Shouldn't exist, though.
Remember the whole new atheist movement died long ago. It turned into woke
Thank God.
faggotry.
Thank God.
Leo! Wait, give me a second.
So, Thunderfoot
Second,
said,
your
a
bias,
personal
go
message for
through.
Putin. Warmly appreciated by my Ukrainian co-worker whose family fled Kharkiv in the first days of the Russian invasion. In hard times, little gestures like this can help. Oh, fuck off, you loser.
How can they help? What are you on about? Where did your logic and reason go?
Yes, like, how is that helping their family? Oh, you made them feel a little bit, your co-worker feel a little bit better. Who fucking cares about your co-worker?
He does.
Your co-worker's apparently
Probably
not
true.
there.
Yep.
Paint your nails and put it on the internet.
Painting his
How
nails.
progressive.
Have they
And then
followed?
did a
On the
virtue
internet.
signally post.
Have they followed any other stupid trash?
Ah, Jesus. I don't
Oh!
understand.
Thunderfoot's a lab leak denier. Of course.
It couldn't
Well,
have been science that done it.
I'm the scientist. It couldn't possibly have been me.
It didn't do nothing, guys. Didn't do nothing.
Trust me, I
Too
wasn't in
busy
China.
killing dogs.
So, Pat Condell, verified checkmark. Free speech fundamentalist, censored by YouTube and Twitter and banned from Facebook. Based.
Oh, wait.
Facebook.
I'm going to follow them. Says, the last 2 years have been one gigantic experiment on humanity. Does anyone still seriously believe the virus is accidentally released? Thunderfoot says, yeah, I can't help but wonder who engineered all the accidentally released viruses for the 4 billion years before mankind even set foot on the Earth. Congratulations,
yeah,
you're
this
now a COVIDian.
Yes, because history has anything to do with modern warfare or any of that shit. I mean, they've literally been talking about biological warfare for the last decade. It's the next big thing since the fucking nuke. I mean, come on. There we go, though. He's not a very bright man, clearly.
But
Yeah.
yeah, guys, I'm sure there were explosions before there was nuclear bombs. Therefore, it couldn't possibly be a nuke.
Yes. And,
It's kaboom in Kabul.
of course,
Obviously not nukes that kill people, it's the explosion afterwards that does it.
yeah. and here's Thunderfoot going, oh, fuck all those Russian citizens who've got nothing to do with this, who are getting screwed over because Apple and Google have decided to deplatform an entire fucking country.
Sounds reasonable.
You know, I seen somebody earlier that was making the argument for this, and they were having an argument with someone who was like, "Well, it's okay when Russia invades other countries, but when the U.S. does it, and he's like, I couldn't damn it when the U.S. does it too." And it's like, cool. So are we gonna like deplatform the U.S. then? Just pull all the companies out of there, cancel their finances? No.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
So you don't condemn it in the same way?
No,
then, 'cause you
no.
didn't advocate for that.
We've
I
got
only condemn it when it's the enemy doing it, you know?
Dark Matter 2525 has fallen as well.
What?
Who's
But yeah,
that?
he fell a while
But
ago.
yeah, the
Like,
guy who
he
used to
was
do
on-
the animations from the same era as Thunderfoot, back when Carl
And,
was
you know,
first doing his
I'll
anti-religion stuff.
give him credit. Some of his shit, as far as the anti-religious shit went, was actually kind of clever and like interesting and like incisive, as opposed to just prove God exists. Oh, spaghetti monster. You know, like
Who was
Yeah,
that? Thunderfoot.
but prove that God exists and
But
spaghetti.
all
Monster
those
is
things are
really-
valid points.
yeah, but it's like not. There's nothing clever about it.
There doesn't need to be though.
the sacred banana phone.
Yeah. So, Dark Matter 2525 says, Patriots, in quotes, keep telling me COVID is over. 2,996 Americans died in 9/11. 3,187 Americans died of COVID yesterday alone. Why are Patriots so willing to add a daily 9/11 to America's death toll? Firstly, with not of. Secondly, fuck off, you loser.
Yeah, don't be such a cringe demon.
Yes.
Cringe demon.
You thought
Cringe
you
demon is
owned
my
the
new favorite
cringe,
thing, by the way.
but you
Yes, you
merely
totally-
adopted the cringe. I
You
was
totally
born
should
in it,
change
molded
Bleach's
by
name
it.
to Cringe Demon.
Hey, Elon Musk.
Yeah, because of course, some idiot makes a meme, Bill Gates, let's make more vaccines. And then presumably an anti-vax going, no, you will put microchips in our bodies and track us. Elon Musk, I will literally put a microchip in your brain. Then the Chad face LeMaying nice. Thunderfoot's like, lol. Okay, let's start with the part where consent is involved in one of those.
I mean, I don't like the idea of the microchip in my brain, regardless.
No.
At least it's optional, you know.
I do
can
like
see
the
medical
idea how
devices
it will
going in that.
be, how it might be of use to help against dementia.
I think the thing I want is I want something like a medical device that's implanted that can actually check your health constantly and check for a medical emergency. That kind of stuff that actually is designed for the benefit of people rather than for tracking and controlling them. But like, oh look,
The
you're having a
problem
medical
is-
emergency. We've already called the ambulance.
See, you say that designed for this, but you know,
It will
as
be
Callum was
abused.
pointing out yesterday, like these things were, like all the things that are now being used as weapons against the people of Russia were not designed or marketed as weapons,
Oh no.
and are now weapons.
Oh, they always
Correct.
will be
So
though.
that's
The thing is,
not to say
technological
that if you were
progress.
to make something like that, that it wouldn't be used as a weapon the first
Oh, of
time you
course,
did
yeah, but
something
all
wrong.
technological progress that you look at has been weaponized at one point or the other. Every single thing that you can look of. Even the internet was a weapon initially, used by military intelligence. All of it was.
Yep.
And yet there are positive benefits that can occur from those things. You cannot avoid the fact that technology will be used for military purposes along the lines.
Okay, well, I'd rather not have it implanted in my body.
Yeah.
Sure. You want to see it advance, and what will happen is it'll be soldiers that will initially have an implant at first to track them, make sure they don't go rogue, and then it will become more public, and there'll be different bodies that do different things and different attitudes, and it will eventually change, and there will be regulations put on it. But at first, it'll be like a mandatory thing that you see.
Yeah, no thanks.
If I'm starting to develop dementia and they make a brain chip that'll help you not suffer from that, then I'll take it. As long as
Yeah, I mean,
it's made from
if you're
China.
getting dementia, I feel like you roll for broke at that point.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I mean, they have been making advancements, seeing that diet actually massively affects things like Alzheimer's and dementia, especially high sugar diets tend to cause a lot of problems. Quite interesting. There has
Yeah.
been some calls to call Alzheimer's diabetes type 3 from some groups.
Carl wants to know your location.
Yeah.
I
Here-
am
Carl
not-
says your checks in the boat.
here's a great new take from George Takai. Americans,
Why
we can
why is he
enjoy.
posting the check when he's got my bank details. What a boomer.
Yeah.
I mean, you know he's a boomer, right?
Yeah.
That is his style.
Oh dear. Right, so George Takei says, Americans, we can enjoy higher prices for food and gas if it means putting the screws to Putin.
Oh,
Consider it a
fuck yeah.
patriotic
No.
donation in the fight for freedom over tyranny. Ah, yes, the
No.
poor people would totally want that just to fuck over Putin. Fuck off, you idiots.
Oh my.
Just
That's all I know.
you
about
already have
Black
people.
people.
You've had people who can't afford food and gas already, thanks to Sleepy Joe and the Democrats, and you want to make it worse for them.
Sleepy Joe. He's
Gee.
creepy and sleepy.
Yeah, but we'll sure show Putin. And you're not even showing Putin. You're just hurting random fucking Russian citizens that can't do
Show
anything about
Putin.
it.
We'll show Putin and his evil autocracy.
It sounds like fucking Nightmare on Elm Street. What's his name? Freddy Krueger, the sleep creep.
I mean, is it wrong though? I mean, look at Freddy Krueger and look at Biden and tell me there's not a relation there.
Well, they both are pedophiles, so
Hey, Krueger's not a pedo. He kills
Yes, he
children.
was.
Big difference.
no, he was a pedophile. That's why he was
He-
murdered.
he-
He was a
oh,
child pedophile. He would
a child
raping younger
pedophile.
children.
Child pedophile.
The worst
No,
guy.
he was legitimately a child killer who killed children and also, was raping them and stuff. And that's why he was burned to death originally. And he came back to Elm Street to do all this horrible stuff to get revenge. He's literally like the most evil guy you could possibly have. like,
Yeah.
like
That explains
by
why I
design.
hate the guy without knowing much about him.
Let's.
There's so many people who fantasize about him. It's fucking weird.
Ugh.
Student of History says, I have no stake in fucking with Putin. I barely have any stake in European security, so why should I suffer to make random Russians suffer?
Yeah.
Because virtue signal.
Let's see,
Or
what
Kamala
else have we
Kamala
got?
Ding Dong's future presidency when Biden finally trips down the stair.
Bleach Demon says, let's starve to death. That will show Putin.
Yeah, you think you're so tough? Well, we're gonna go for communism. Fuck you.
Dear.
God, I hope these lefties do. That would be great.
Kakari, kakari, tratuya.
Dear.
Hey, and when I was president, Mark Zuckerberg was in the Oval Office kissing my ass.
I don't really know
Actually,
what to
I
make
think
of the whole thing with Ukraine, though. Like, who's in the right, who's in the wrong? I mean, obviously, there's a lot of civilians dying, but I'm seeing a lot of things from both sides. Like, I think I've seen like something like 10,000 Russian troops already dead.
Yeah, I just feel sorry for the civilians that
Yeah.
get no
Yeah.
say in any of this and have just been shocked in the middle of it.
Yeah, exactly.
sad that one of my favorite YouTubers, Life of Boris, has just stopped making videos now because of that shit.
Because he's involved, or because of like
He's
the
basically the
cancelled-
He's basically the Slav or Gopnik YouTuber, but now because of this, he's just really down about it. So
I can't
he'll
think of
come. He'll
God,
come
right.
back after this bullshit, though. Again, this whole thing is just fucking pointless.
That's it. I
Okay.
don't care who's right, Ukraine or Russia. I just can't begin to care unless people start fucking with civilians. Though, unfortunately for the Ukrainians, the government decided that they don't have any civilians.
Mm,
Now they're all soldiers.
Yep.
Well, literally, they are. They've conscripted every man. So by
Oh boy.
that understanding, I think that makes all men combatants. So Whoops.
All male women.
Well, no, in Ukraine, not even the trans women are women.
That's how Putin will win. He just says, trans rights, yes?
Student history says, I feel for the average Ukrainian and Russian. Putin and his guys will be fine. Zelensky and his guys will be fine. The Rams on both sides will end up slaughtering each other for this.
Because trans rights, dude.
Yeah, and Billy Blogg says the real winner and massive supporter for this war is CCP China. Well, they certainly aren't losing out from it, are they?
China. I hate China.
Mm-hmm.
China.
CCP in specifically.
Oh dear.
Yeah, there's a difference between hating the Chinese government and the Chinese people.
Yeah,
China
so,
itself has got a lot of interesting culture, really, really interesting stuff going on.
yeah, I'd love to visit China if we didn't have to deal with the CCP.
Yeah.
Because I'd love to go have a look at the Great Wall. Who wouldn't? But it's a fascist hellhole.
Well, I mean, Great Wall, meh, whatever. In 4 years, we're going to be working on an even greater wall. It's going to be so big, you're going to say, please, no more. How high could it possibly get?
Basically 50 meters to keep away the giant leftists.
To keep COVID
That would be
out.
nice,
and
actually.
well-
Yep.
Apparently, treatment is going to resume again for women not vaccinated against COVID in Scotland.
Oh, really? They've actually brought it back, have they?
Looks that way.
You are now allowed to have 2 child.
No vaccine, no babies. Oh, okay, thanks.
Yeah, let's have a
We
look.
have we, the glorious Scottish Parliament, have now allowed you to have more than not children.
Yeah, so Scotland's chief medical officer says the decision to restart such treatment came after data emerged showing reduced risk of severe disease among those who are unvaccinated over the last 46 years. I mean, weeks. Totally not the entire fucking time.
Yeah. It's like, oh, actually, you were never that high risk. But I honestly hope people who now like have missed an opportunity or whatnot start fucking suing them.
Indeed.
Anyway.
But apparently the risk has reduced over the last 4 to 6 weeks, despite the fact that it's still the same disease. Don't know.
Exactly the same. It hasn't reduced at all.
In fact, yes, exactly. I'd be willing to bet it's exactly the same as it's always been. Something approaching fuck all.
Oh,
Here we go. Here's a quote. I strongly support the recommendation that people get the vaccine when offered. The COVID-19 vaccines are safe and effective. Sure. Righto. Honest, Governor. And there is no evidence to suggest that the COVID-19 vaccines will affect fertility in women or men. Well, of course there's no evidence. You did no studies and you haven't looked.
We didn't find on it.
Put their hands over their eyes. We can't see any evidence. If we keep our eyes closed, we can't see any evidence.
What is evidence?
that is something that goes against the truth, the real truth, not the truth.
Evidence is an anti-vax conspiracy theory.
Yeah, it's evil.
Literally. Like, we were like, can we have some data on this? That's anti-science. I don't think you understand how science works.
That is not part of the science. That is just very racist.
Senator Paul, you have no idea what you were talking about.
You
I'm sorry, but the way
I
you
am the
speak
science.
sounds like the most stereotypical Jew voice.
It kind of
Honestly,
does,
though,
yeah.
it's very much Judge Dredd, isn't it?
Judge
I don't
Dredd?
break the law. I am the law. I am the science.
I don't break the science. I am the
As
science.
a science. Not yet.
after after
You can't question the
him
science.
being in court, the attack on my science has left me scarred and deformed. But I assure you, my science has never been stronger.
My support from Joe Biden has never been stronger.
You just hear in the background, that is pretty clear, dumbass.
My paycheck has never been bigger.
And then, like, instead of like dramatic Star Wars music, you just hear do 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 do.
No, you just hear an epic orchestrated version of it. The entire goddamn choir just Dr. Fauci. Oh, Jesus Christ. He does make a good villain.
Similar to the actual Cannibal Shia LaBeouf thing.
Cannibal Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah, somebody as a meme made this song on the internet. Actual shot.
Yeah, that running away from Shia LaBeouf. That one?
Yeah.
Running for your life, it's Shia LaBeouf. Lurking in the shadows.
It was incredible, frankly.
I think actually Shia LaBeouf headed that one because he was in it. He just stands up applauding for it. Yes, I do try and kill people.
Oh, that's kind of based.
Yeah. Doped, based, super lit. Run for your life.
Reminds me, oddly enough, of a weird, obscure advert about drinking where there's a giant belly that was going to chase you down. And there's a
Wait,
song
what?
playing, Belly's gonna get you.
Wait, what?
Weird. Yeah. It's like I think it was, I'm sure it was an advert about drinking.
I mean, we have a weird advert for when you're hungry. Not like really hungry, but like just a little bit hungry. And that is a old guy or a grouchy old guy or a grouchy woman who is dressed in a purple bodysuit and just haggles people because they haven't eaten anything. It's a commercial for yogurt, by the way. Er du småsulten? As you've been talking about this, I've been doing nothing but fucking around with Procreate.
Fair.
A lot of fun.
Why not? Hmm.
I'm just farming arrows on Elden Ring. Literally just running around crafting arrows.
I'm doing very boring things.
It's actually, I mean, I've got 700 normal arrows, and I'm working on my fire ones. So when I start to progress again, I'm not gonna have to do any of this, which is kind of nice. I've also had 2 levels just from killing birds.
You just hear that Uncle Jimbo.
Billy's asked if Russia Today is blocked in Australia, and I am just trying to find out if it is. I'm getting a 403 forbidden, but that doesn't tell us too much.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man. Spider-Man, Biden can.
Because 403s would generally indicate that I'm being blocked by the website itself rather than my government.
Hmm.
Which
Or
I
a
generally
VPN.
don't, because well, that would just cut out the stream, wouldn't it?
His stream is still on.
Yes.
Oh yeah, true.
Which is why I can't,
I wasn't even.
can't
You
put a
could use
VPN
VPN
on
your
there.
phone.
Hmm.
True, but then I'd have to install it and stuff.
Ah, so it's laziness.
Exactly.
I
Ooh.
mean,
Frozen
laziness is a
death.
fantastic excuse.
Do not underestimate the laziness involved in this.
He comes from the land down under. Don't you know?
Oh,
Or
dear.
as Callum says it, don't you know?
Prime Knight says, block trade, fine. Block economic transactions, fine. But don't block information. It's important to hear what BS the other side is spouting.
Do you know what's great?
Yes.
Like, fucking BBC and CNN and whatnot have all removed themselves from Russia. It's like, okay, well done, I suppose.
Well, that's what the idiots don't realise. I thought you wanted the Russian citizens to oppose this. Well, if you remove all news sources they have except the Russian ones, how do you think that's going to go?
And then you remove the Russian ones from here so that we can't even, like, see what they're being told. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. They
Virtue
just have
signaling,
this
I see.
fucking conceit that everyone like automatically a priori understands us to be the good guys. It's so fucking dumb. Like they're just like, oh yes, this new neoliberal thing we have going. It's this global world where everyone appreciates us. It's like no, like
I think I'll never stop hating leftists.
It's like basically Russian citizens are gonna be told that we're evil and we hate them, and then all they're gonna see is us like taking everything away from them, and Russian media is gonna be like, "Yep, that's because they hate you." And now we've taken all sources of way that we could contact them out because virtue signal. Like, is this supposed to be smart? Like, you're doing Putin's job for him.
Well, that's because of and they won't care either. More war is great for views.
And the COVID narrative has just been so boring as of lately. We need something
I mean,
new,
you
guys.
have to congratulate Putin for ending the pandemic, though. You know.
yeah.
The Putin was putting the button to the pandemic. Am I the only one tired of the word problematic?
No.
Every time I hear that word used, I feel just a
A fury.
fierce. Yes, just
Yeah,
the sin of
even when it's
wrath
being
is strong in me.
used
No,
in
that's
a
called being
context,
human. That's not weird.
even when it's used
Huh?
in a context that's logical, it just the word itself makes me stabby.
Yeah, they've ruined it.
Makes you stabby.
It makes me think of a
Yes.
shitty early
Also,
2000s musical series.
Also, deconstruct and unpack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
just
and
gonna
diversity and
deconstruct.
representation.
Yep.
I mean, just want to point out that if anyone tries to convince me that that horrible overpaid fan fiction over at Amazon is anything connected to Tolkien, I will stab you with whatever is available. I don't care if it is a log of wood. I will stab you to death
Again,
with it.
I fucking love how the fucking black elf looks like Don Lemon.
I
I'll
mean,
never
the
get over
orcs
that.
came from
Fucking-
somewhere, okay? Morgoth had to start with something.
Yeah,
And he took all the black elves, he held them down,
they
and
were
then
men
he...
once.
Tarzan in chat makes a good point. He's tired of newspeak in general. And that's literally what it is. It's newspeak, just as Orwell described.
Yep.
Yeah, it's like
Mm.
You know, I just want to quote you from earlier, Basic. 1984 was a warning, not an instruction manual. Damn it.
Yes. Yes, it fucking was. Prime. Speaking of, Prime Knight says problematic is a dog whistle. For to start talking about 30% and 50% in crime statistics. Oof. Speaking of,
Fuck, I
dog
keep forgetting
whistle
that
is
stat.
another word that makes you want to fucking get pissed off. Hurt people too.
Oh?
Yeah, because it's been co-opted by leftists. Everything's a
Oh,
dog
yeah.
whistle.
Everything's a dog whistle.
And
Well, if it's a dog whistle and they can hear it, what does that make them?
They're a dog.
dogs.
Bark like a good little boy.
Like, it's a Nazi dog whistle. It's like, you're the
Why do
only
you
one
hear
that
it
heard
then?
that.
Why are you hearing it?
You know,
what
what
are you
was it?
saying here?
Yes. Funny that.
Not being vegan is connected to masculinity. Right-wing men would post memes of themselves with milk.
If hey, if everything sounds like a dog whistle to you, maybe it's because you're the dog.
Stupid, sexy right-wingers. Every single fucking leftist woman ever.
Mm-hmm.
No wonder
Hell,
they
what-
do that. You look
wasn't
at the
he-
fucking left-wing men, and it's like, "Hi, baby. Are
I
you
don't
ready
want to
to
call
be
I don't want to
respected?"
call those things men.
Yeah.
It's better just call them manlets.
I mean, everybody goes on about the uwu cat girls, but they never talk
Oh.
about the uwu dog guys.
The what?
No.
On every
I-
level
Fanboy dog
except
guys.
physical, I'm a wolf.
Dear.
Fucking other kid. I remember the
Yeah.
times when amazing atheists were talking about those things instead of politics bullshit.
Yeah, I wouldn't know if Russia today is blocked in Australia anyway. In Australia, our dumbass government blocks things via DNS. Doesn't tend to work if you don't use a government DNS.
Oh shit, look at the time. I'm gonna visit my family pretty soon, around 6 o'clock, so I'm starting to need the time. So I'm gonna have to, as quoting Second Plague, I gotta bounce.
All right, we might wind things down and call it there then.
Bounce, 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 bounce.
All
So
right.
are we going to quit or should I just drop out?
Oh, we'll quit. So if you've got a couple more minutes, see us out.
I can do a few more minutes.
All right, everyone. So thanks to everyone who joined us today in chat, and thanks to those who joined us on the stream. Discordia, Jonathan Crow, Second Plague, and Trim.
Yep.
We will, of
Yeah.
course, be back same time, same place, though we may consider changing the time to a later time and due to some changes with Trim's work to make sure he can join us in future. But we'll make sure to let you all know on the Discord if that happens.
Yeah. Also, holy
I'm not
shit, there's
having our vote, Jeff.
15 people watching.
Yes.
Damn.
Thank you to everyone who joined us and watched. Thank you to the guys in chat who are always a good time and great contributions. Other than,
Gracias.
yes, indeed. Thank you all very much, everyone, and we will see you all next time. Shadilay, folks.
Bye.
Shadilay.